The folks at Vic Off-Road reached out and sent us their San Hima 4-bike hitch mount carrier for review. In this video, we'll unbox the carrier, install it on my truck, and see how well it performs. There are two types of hitch mount bike carriers, tray style and hanging cradle style. Tray style bike carriers are easier and more secure to load. They also keep the bike separated to minimize touching and prevent scratches. However, they are heavy and take up a lot of space when not in use. Hanging carriers with cradles are much less expensive and much lighter. They generally fold pretty flat and are easy to store. Unfortunately, the bikes are not held as securely and they often sway while the vehicle is moving, making contact with the other bikes. This could scratch or cause abrasions in the paint of your bikes. Alright, let's take a look inside here. Alright. Okay. I believe these are the alternative straps for the carrier. These are the hardware for the this is the bolt for the hitch. I do believe so. This secures the rack onto the hitch, and this is the stabilizer for preventing the swaying for the rack itself. Inside the box is the carrier itself. The San Hima 4-bike carrier is a hanging style and fits into a 2-inch hitch. There were no instructions in the box for installing and use, but you can easily find them on vicoffroad.com. The bike carrier weight limit is 160 pounds or 40 pounds per bike, and the carrier itself weighs under 20 pounds. The current cost of the carrier at this time of recording is $90 from Amazon, and we'll provide a link in the video description. And there we go. Our next step here, what we'll do is we'll attach it into the 2-inch hitch here on the truck. It's pretty light. You know, it's made out of steel. Alright. Get the hole lined up there. Alright, so I'm going to use this nut that comes with this pin bolt and get it started here. And I'm assuming you don't have to get it all the way on tight, just to make sure that the bolt itself does not slip from the carrier. So go ahead. It is nice to see this bike carrier comes with a full pin bolt versus some of the newer carriers that only provide a safety catch. One option you can do is swap the bolt with a locking pin. For $20, you can secure the bike carrier to the hitch and not have to worry about dealing with the nut. So you'll notice with the bolt in there that there's still some swaying going on back and forth. And so to prevent that, we have this additional piece that we'll hook on here in a second. This is like a U-bolt, kind of goes on there. Then you have this plate here that goes on underneath, and then that goes up into here, and then we use these nuts and washers to get it nice and tight to prevent it from swaying. So let's go ahead and do that now. should definitely prevent the bike carrier from swaying while hooked onto the hitch. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start putting on some of the bikes. So let's first to release, we need to pull up on this piece here, and that should release the arms. So I'm going to set this camera down here real quick. Hardtail, I swapped out the regular buckle strap with this Velcro strap. That way it can go over both tubes here and fit securely right there. Alright, so on the full suspension bike, I went ahead and used this top bar adapter, which makes it fit a little bit easier. The nice thing is you can kind of tell it lowers the bike, so there's no problem with the saddle getting in the way here. And also the handlebars are nice and low. It being released, it's really heavy with 4 bikes on there. Alright, as you can tell, this is released. But does not go down all the way, so there's a little bit of extra space needed for these full-size trucks. But it might work on a more standard size truck. So what do I like about this bike carrier? I like that it's light and it folds up into a small space and can be easily stored. The stabilizer plate works well and it has a great price point. This bike carrier should have no problems transporting a couple bikes around town. What I don't like is how much time it takes to install the hitch pin bolt and the stabilizer plate. The competitors use a twist knob to stabilize the rack to the hitch, albeit at a higher price. Those more expensive bike carriers also come with some form of locking mechanism, which is missing from this carrier. I would not recommend this bike carrier for high-end bikes unless you want to wrap them up with additional protection to save the paint from wear or possible scratches. If you have a full suspension bike or a step-through bike frame, I would advise getting a top tube frame adapter.
So who would get the best use out of this bike carrier? People who occasionally ride and would like to find an affordable way to transport their bikes to the bike path or trailhead. Although it can carry up to 4 bikes, I would recommend keeping the weight down and giving some space for the bikes to breathe. Thanks for watching. Do you have a hanging style rack? Let us know what you like or dislike about them in the comments.